Xin chào to our Techi friends in Vietnam and hello to everyone. This is our next tutorial in our series on web scraping using Python. I am Scrappy and this is World Web Scraping. There we go! Hello, welcome to World Web Scraping. This is our next tutorial in our series on web scraping using Python. And today we will talk about how to save data to CSV file and Excel file. See, if we are scraping a lot of data and so we want to save that for our analysis later on, later on. There is no point in just scraping the data and showing it on the terminal, so we should know how to save it. So today we will talk about how to save the data. So let's get started. If you remember, we have earlier saved some of our data into CSV files, and if you remember this tutorial where we were scraping graphics card data from newegg.com, we saved it to a CSV file here, so we already know how to do that. But now this tutorial specifically deals with that, so you can refer to one single point on how to save it. So today first we will save the data to a CSV file and then to an Excel file, and we will be saving the text data into that, saving image data into an Excel file. It is not easy, you need to convert it into bytes and then save it. So for the general purpose, usually not recommended to do that. So unless you are working on machine learning the stuff, so you can do that, you can break down the images into pixels and then you can save it. But for our purpose, it's not recommended. So we will save the text data into CSV Excel files. So guys, this is the website we will be scraping today. This is a Wikipedia, and I'm scraping the list of largest record music markets. So this contains a lot of tables from 2017 to 2014 to 24 actually, and I will be scraping this first table of 2017. So let's inspect it and see where we have this table. So you see here, with this is our table, and if we go a bit up, the table, it is under the table tag, and then it is under class wiki plain row headers sort table. Under that we have our complete table. If we go further down and inspect, you will see there is a tag tr which contains the first row. So that's the structure of the table actually. Whenever you will see a table, you will have at a table tag, and under that there will be a class to define the table. Then there will be a tr that will define all the table. Then that will contain table rows. th is table header, so that represents the header and that represents the column names. Then you will see there are all these th will contain these column names. Then if you go down a bit, then again we have a table body. This is the body of the table and this is the header, so it contains all of our body, and under that every row is contained in a tr tag, so every row is under tr tag. So if you just extract these all tr tags, you will have all of our tables. So that's what we will do today. So importing all the library that I need, and one more library, I'm importing CSV because we will be saving it to a CSV file now to start to create a CSV file. What we will do is we will create a file by just simply assigning a file name. The file name is music.csv. I'm assigning that name, then I'm opening that file and open using the open method, and then just pass the file name, and here I'm writing w. W means that write it to the file, so that will write whatever I was doing in next. That will write to my file, and I'm writing a new line parameter so that every line of my data gets into a new line, not into a single line. And if you don't write it, then how CSV works, it will separate by a comma and it will write into one single line. So we don't want that. You want it into a column. That's why I'm writing a new line. I'm using a new line parameter here. Okay, pay attention. Then I'm calling csv.writer method. So to write into CSV file, I'm using csv.writer, and I'm calling my file, that open file that I have here now. I am assigning it back to variable music. So we are done here, and now, so this is the link. Again, I'm creating URL object, and then I'm creating a beautiful soup object. And then this is code starts, so my table is under table tag, and then it has a class, then wiki table, plain row headers, sorter table that I showed you. Now what it will do is this will give me a list of the list. If you remember this, finds all method, and find all method gives us a list. So from that I just want the first table. So I'm just extracting the first element, that is 0. So I'm calling the index of the first element and I'm extracting that. Then on that I am doing dot find all at tr, because we need the table rows. I showed you that everything we want to find is contained in the table rows. So that's what we want. So I want to extract all the tr into that, and so this will again give me a list. Okay, then what I'm saying, it will again give me a list. So what I'm saying is for row in tbody, for every row in the tbody, I'm writing a for loop here. Just let me run this and I will show you like what I'm getting there first. I will just print tbody once. And you see here now I've got all of this detail. Now I want to loop over this list that I have got, and I want to extract the data that I need. So that's what I'm doing. That's why I'm calling a for loop here. So let us uncomment it out again. So don't worry about this Excel. This will be used when you want to save it to that Excel, to ignore it for now. Now what I'm saying, for every row in tbody, this list of mine, find a row dot find children. So what find children method does is it finds the children of that tag that we extract. So for every row it will find the immediate children of that. So this is my first element. If you see here, my comma is separate here. So what it will do for tr tag, it will find me all of the children of this tr tag. So it will give me ranking, it will give me market, and then it will give me this all these next columns retail, physical, digital, performance rights, synchronization, and this is what it will do. But it will give me with all the tag. So that's what finds children do whenever you call find children. So that will give you the immediate children, that particular tag that you expect. So I will extract this tag by looping over this list. So this will give me this tag, and find children will extract all of these childrens. Okay, and now these children will contain all of these tags, also that the th and everything, this call style. I don't want that. I just want the text out of that. I just want ranking market here, and here I just want retail, physical and digital performance, right, and synchronization. So that's what I'm doing is I'm again writing for loop that saying that for an element in a column, that is what our column variable that we assign here. So for every element in the column, what we want is we want to extract the element .text.stripe. So just extract me every element, and then from that every element extract me the text and stripe that text so that I just have a text and not any extra spaces or any special sign. So that's what it's doing here, and I'm assigning back to the column. So now we have got our clean columns, and we have extracted it into a list. So it is a list of columns, and let's run the cell for once more before writing it back. And just let me print the columns so you will see what all have extracted. So let's run this and see. I have got my data in a clean and neat form, just doing this 2 lines, and here I have got everything that I needed. So now what I want is I want to write it to CSV file. So that's what I will be doing next here. Now again, let's just uncomment that. So in this I called here writer, CSV writer. I created my music file here, and in this music file now I want to write code, and there is a function called writer row. So what that will do is it will write every single row that we have in the data. So these are my rows here now. The columns that I have called this variable contains all of my rows in the form of a list. So I want to write these list of rows back to my music file. So I'm calling the writer row method, and I'm passing my rows here in the columns. So what it will do, it will everything to my CSV file. So let's run this, and it will do everything. So my music file now, it has written to that. We can see which directory we are working in. So import os dot get cwd and run it. So we are working in a directory. So let's check. And so this contains a music file. Let's open it. Read only. Let me check it. Something happened. So it has written everything into my files. Let it run everything again. And so guys, it has written everything into my file in a very clean and neat manner. All the column names and everything, and all the data in very neatly format in the table. It is exactly the replica of a table that was on the Wikipedia site. So I have everything that I need here. And so that's how you can write it back to a CSV file. So you use the same method whenever you are writing the data into a CSV file. You can do in this way. So let's go back and see how can we write it into an Excel file. So to write into an Excel file, there are several ways to write into an Excel file. Has several libraries available, like we have CSV library. To write into CSV file, we have many other libraries like PyExcel and XLS Writer and many things that you can use to write into an Excel file. But the easiest way to do that is to write using Pandas Dataframe. So first create a Pandas Dataframe and just simply write that Pandas Dataframe back into an Excel file. That's the easiest way to do it. Using that way, we can write or we can manipulate our data if we want to add or delete something. If there are any missing values, you want to drop them. So if you know Pandas Dataframe, it's the easiest way to do that. You can use another library like PyExcel, Excel's Writer, but they are not very handy and they don't have all the methods that Pandas Dataframe offer. So I will always suggest using Pandas Dataframe to write into the Excel. So to write into the Pandas Dataframe into Excel, we need to pass our data as a list of lists. For our columns is right now is not a list of list. It contains our number of lists. Okay. And so to make it a list of lists, what I'm doing is I have created an empty list here, Excel, and what I'm doing is I'm appending that Excel list, excel.append by columns. So every calls of this will go into that list, so it will become a list of lists. So that's why I had written this Excel here. So we will be using it into creating our Excel file, okay? And so guys, I have already run this cell, so my Excel list is already created and I will print it into the next row. So I will show you what I have there. So let's just print it. Okay, pay attention. Here we got extra square breakout. So that means it is a list of lists and we can write it to Pandas Dataframe now. So to write in Pandas Dataframe, what we have to do is import Pandas as PD. That's the alias that we use now. I'm creating a variable df and what I'm doing is a pd.dataframe. So whenever you want to create a data frame, so you have to call the dataframe method, and to do that you pass the data. So you pass the data that you have. So in this case I have a list of lists, so I have passed this data here, and what it will do is it will create me a data frame in a very neat format. So let me show you that. And here in the data you can pass a dictionary also, and you can pass just if you have there are many ways to pass this actual data here, and also you can pass specific column names. I am not passing the column names right now because I already have these columns, but what it has done is it has made this the first column header into the first row itself. I don't want it, so I will remove it when I will write it back to Excel file. So that's what I will do. So what I am doing here is df to write your Pandas data frame back to Excel. What you have to do is just call your data frame, and all that, just call the method to Excel and pass the name of the file that you want to create. So in this case I have passed worldmusic.excels. So that's the name I want to give my file, and index it false, because if you don't give index false, what we will see what he has done here, right? Because my ranking is my index, that's what I want. I want my ranking column as the index. I don't want this extra column 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So to remove that, I have a given index is false and the header is false. So why you have header false is again because of my first row of data. You see, this is my first row of data and that is my header. I don't want this header 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So to remove that, I have called header is false. So you can do that, and that it will give you the desired shape. So let's run this, and again the spreadsheet saved, and this show me data is saved now, and I can check it. So let's check that data, and here is my file world music, and I will open. You see if the similar file as we created in CSV, and you see it has all of our data, and my header is as I wanted them. It not 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It contains the name of the columns, and it has all the data that we wanted in a clean, neat table way, and that's how we can do that. So that's it for how to save data to an Excel file or a CSV file. Always use Pandas Dataframe to do that in this easiest way to do. If you want to explore, you can explore the other libraries like PyExcel or Excel's Writer and anything you can search on the web, and you can try using those. So that's it for now. And so that is all for today, my techie friends. If you liked the video, please like and subscribe to our channel. See you in the next video tutorial, and do not stop visiting our website. Leave your comments below and ask me any question you have. I will be very happy to answer them. A link is given in description of this video to get code and full material. And stay happy, stay safe, stay techie.